Go. All right. Kept everybody waiting there, Josh.
I know, it's definitely my fault.
Well, I mean, you're a tech guy. Without you, this whole podcast falls apart, as
That's what
proven
it's
the last 2 weeks.
that's what it looked like. Wait, did you guys was it just nothing for 2 weeks?
Oh, absolutely. There's two
Okay.
posts. So we can get going. What up, everybody? This is Jammers in the Rough on CH Sports. It's your boy, Paige here, and your wonderful co-host, Josh, just getting back from the orgy winter.
Just kidding.
The Cody, the worst Waldron, is no longer with us on this podcast. The last 2 weeks he was skipping show, hanging us out to dry, and this week he decided to come and just cancel last minute again. But thankfully, as Josh and me are huge Freddie Mercury fans, we believe that the show must go on. So we're here with you to bring you an amazing podcast this evening. What's up, Josh? How you been?
It's been good. It's been good. Like camping out in the woods with a 4-year-old and a 15-year-old and my wife for I think we're in the tent for 10 or 11 days. It has challenges, but it's a lot of fun. The Oregon Country Fair it's a beautiful place out there, good piece of property. Um, I think it's like 400 or something acres. City. It's really cool to watch the city get built in the woods. Party in there for 4 days. Enjoy some awesome music, some good shows, and then watch it get torn down. It blows my mind every year watching it be alive and then be dead. Because I'm there about a week after it closes with my crew. But we did this year. We did a glow bocce, and we went from like one end of the Orange Country Fair to the other, and then around a bit. That was a lot of fun. There's like 12 of us mobbing through these dark ass trails with Globachi. Super fun.
Globachi, is that the one with like the little ping?
No, it's the one where you like the one single ball, like a white ball, and a person throws it, and then you have your ball that you try to roll to get closest to it. Never
I guess
heard of
I've
it?
never played. I've never heard of bocce ball.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Yeah, it's like whoever gets closest gets to pick up the little white ball and throw it next, and you just throw it wherever you want, and then everyone has to throw from that spot and get your ball the closest to win that round.
Okay.
Yeah, and glow bocce just adds a whole nother thing.
What?
I
What
love
is
it
it?
because it's nighttime and you can't see shit, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Hi, Paige and Josh. Ursus is the best mid ever. It is a damn good mid. I will agree. Actually,
I agree. Especially as you start to
look
see like
how quick I was with that
I was
one.
just say you had it. I think it's somehow the best mid and the most underrated mid. Where is it? Right here. These ones are like the baseline. They're not as
What's that one
overstable as
called?
the glass, huh?
Granite?
Granite,
What's
yeah.
that? Granite?
The granite glow. This.
Yeah. What does that say?
It's a treasure map. So if anyone wants to go to the Brazos River and Waco and find this treasure, there is $100 bounty on that reward. $100 bounty, not reward. Anyways,
What's
but
the
this one,
what disc is sitting in there?
oh, just some orange disc. It's a treasure. That the treasure is the journey, not the item.
Yeah, but how
Get
many
you and
discs
a
are
couple
probably
of your Hobbit buddies and go on an adventure.
but how many discs are probably sitting in that water right there?
Shoot, how many snakes are sitting in that water is what the question you should be asking yourself. Go on an adventure, it's gonna be all Indiana Jones and just be like, why do I have to be snakes as you're swimming through the lagoon?
Well, heck, did you
Which,
ever
by the
listen to that?
way, go ahead.
I said, did you ever listen to that song that I told you or mentioned in the comments? Island Glow by Dirty Heads.
No, I haven't listened to that
Dude,
song.
it's worth checking out. It's pretty much two pirates. One that has his gold on the island, and the other one's coming to get the gold on the island. Very witty, very good. Chorus is awesome too.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those like their first album was like one of my absolute favorites. Was on repeat in my car, and then I just kind of kept listening to that. It's like you just reached it for me, and they kept releasing new albums, and I never really picked up any of their new albums because for me that was kind of one of the good our best albums I've actually probably ever heard. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, yeah, they got some good tracks for sure.
So, but yeah, no, I was gonna say. Speaking of the new Indiana Jones, is absolute. I wouldn't say absolute trash. It's just like I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta let something die and start over.
Wait, is there
That's
a new
my
one?
yeah. There's a new Indiana Jones that came out. See, or Harrison Ford all CGI to be young again.
Oh, really? That's a
Yeah, it's
bummer.
that new take. Just let things die. We should speak about discs that way, right? Like sometimes you just let Prodigy die so that Lone Star can live and just kill a brand.
That's kind of how I felt when I watched like I watched like Fast and the Furious, like the first like couple. And then I saw that there was like a new one released on my Plex account, and so I like it's like Fast X or something like that. I like, threw it on, and there's like characters on there. I'm like, I thought you like died in one of these movies. Like, how are you in this show? Like one of the females that are in it. And so
They
I
took the
stopped
Dragon Ball
watching.
Z approach. There's the little like planet where all these dead spirits live in, and you gotta drift and race your way back to Earth. It was a whole. I think it was like Tokyo Drift or something when that happened. I don't know.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
kidding, by the way. It's just I think everybody's tired of that. Also, like I think we're just getting oversaturation of shit just being shoved down our throat, whether it's movies, TV shows, discs, disc golf. Not that I'm ever tired of the disc golf, but I think the discs. I think we're looking at all of these releases. Went to the store and was like, what just got released? The Rolo? And I was like, I didn't even hear of the fucking Rolo.
who makes
It's
that? Sounds like a
Innova.
Clash. Oh, Innova.
Innova makes a Rolo. The
Rolo.
Star Rolo, it's like 5, 6, -4, 1 or something. Like I think it's a like roller mid-range roller disc is what they're trying to do. But completely caught me off
Rolo.
guard because I'm just like, what the fuck? Like usually like when it comes to new molds, I know what's coming out, right? Like Clash with the cherry and stuff and the spice, and I'm usually like caught up to speed with what's coming out, but when I went to all day disc golf today and saw the roll, I'm just like, how did I not hear about this as I'm picking up an Alien?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's the name. It's like, what's that one called? The Alien. So is that pretty much a Sonic?
No,
No.
it's like the fastback kind of Sonic top,
Yeah.
but like bulky rim is overstable, so it's like a glidey overstable disc. Jeff Corns had one at Northumberland Invitational, and we're throwing it around, and was really surprised at how stable it was. Like I'm talking about like seeing some like MPL put on Anheuser and watching it flex out.
Oh wow.
So after throwing it, I actually went and bought one because I was like, this is kind of nice, like MD4 but with glide. It's just like you don't have those discs. Usually when the more overstable they get, the faster they're trying to get to the ground.
Yeah.
So I picked one up to toy around with. And I don't know. I just got it today, so hoping it makes the bag. It feels surprisingly good, but the top is very flimsy, so I don't know if it's gonna keep that stability for long. But
Okay.
it's not a Sonic.
Is the fastback PDJ approved? The one that like Discmania had?
I thought so, yeah.
'Cause it doesn't say it on it. It does not say like approved.
Oh well, then it's probably not approved.
Okay.
Here, let's say fastback PDGA approved.
What you got? What you got?
Well,
I
this
I, tr- I tried looking it up. I couldn't find anything.
a fastback from Whammo
Yeah.
is approved.
Oh, it is. Well, it's from Whammo. It's a Whammo
Yeah,
mold. Okay. Well,
it's
look at
a
that.
super class and vintage class. Approved date January 1st, 1971. Certification
Oh,
number 71-01.
it's official. It is official. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna bag that. I'll bag the fastback, the Sonic, and the Alien, and then I'll just play the
Do
whole
it.
road.
Makes me curious if they're gonna go this whole like trail down with these like fastback tops and be like, let's do a fastback fairway driver and distance driver with the little like groove top. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. Just start getting janky with it. I don't think enough companies try to push the envelope for what they could be doing with their discs. I think a lot of them keep to the stock like, this is your typical rounded putter. This is your overstable, aggressive fairway driver. This is your mid range. Like, I don't think enough people like try to do like Castaplas kind of did that when they first came into the scene, right? They're like, Berg, let's get janky with it. Rask, let's
Yeah.
get janky with it. Let's explore these things. I'm not saying we need to do it. I think Loft does it a little bit, but they're not doing it like. I mean, I guess they have a
There's
couple good
a
discs.
the mutant that was different.
Oh,
The
that was
mutant was
like
different.
the Tesla truck.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
different.
but it's different to be like overstable, and I feel like if you're just trying to create beef like that, like they've done it a couple ways already at this point. I think like I want to see like the 7-speed glides. I want to see the hey, if you have 300 foot of power, you throw this disc, it goes 400 feet. That's the stuff I want to get curious about, like how they can get creative
Yeah.
um within like the limitations, of course, of what are the limitations and guidelines of what they're allowed to do. But there has to be some creativity.
It kind of brings up that point that you're saying that like the market is kind of saturated with just the same old disc, different name, maybe a little bit different numbers, but numbers are like arbitrary. Like,
Well, like 2 years ago, Discraft was known for the zone, and no other company really had a zone comparison. Fast forward to 2 years, and every company has a zone comparison at this point. And that's like I think one of the more important ones because yes, everybody wants a destroyer because it's the best distance driver, but people have been trying to replicate the destroyer for decades at that point, right? But the
yeah,
zone was kind of ignored this entire time. I mean, with half attempts like the rat and stuff, but the tactic, but nothing quite captured that. And then all of a sudden, every company has their own comparable mold to the zone, and I don't think the zone probably blasphemy, but it's the best at what it does anymore. Um, Kind of same thing. Well, I think the destroyer is still the best. I think that's just hard to beat at this point because they have 20 years of different molds, runs, toolings, experience with that mold to find what you need. Like the Zeus is not a destroyer, but anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. But my point being is, yeah, get creative. Like I want to see a disc with like 4 little legs coming off, and those 4 little legs when you throw it just grabs the dirt and stops. That's what I want to see.
as it comes out.
No,
Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess it can come out. See, I was just thinking like permanently, like just 4 permanent legs that are just like Hagen. It slows your disc down, and when it lands, it just
like at a certain spin speed, they like pop out.
yeah. See, I'd be down with that. Like that's creative. That's your like Berg 2.0. Bergs are monster trucks. Let's take the monster truck wheel away and leave little freaking feet on those discs.
I saw this thing like pop up in my email like alert. It's from Discmania had it on their site. What was it? This thing. Where'd it go? Yeah, that.
Oh,
It's like a game proofer smart tag for like 129. What it looks like it like measures how you're
yeah, your throw
throwing.
speed, your spin, all that for you.
Oh, there we
I
go.
don't
Throw
know.
speed, flight speed, speed ratio, spin, flight stability, throw distance, find my disc, LED light for throwing in the dark. How does it attach? Huh. There's just something,
Yeah,
I haven't seen something like that pop up anywhere. So that was
they've
kind of
been
cool.
doing the like on DGA Live. They've been having some of the trailers for similar things, and there's somebody on Instagram. So sorry, I can't give you a shout out because I don't know your name, but it's a store, and they have that set up on a disc. And you go into the store, you throw it a couple times, and then he can see where you're at, and he recommends discs based off of where all of those things are at. And I think that's a
That's
really
smart.
cool idea to
Yeah.
like not even beginners, just advanced players. Like I almost want to go in there and just throw and see where my things are at because we all have an idea of like, oh, I throw my arm speed to 69 miles per hour, but there's no way of really knowing besides like, oh, slowed down my spin or I tried to put more spin on it. There's no way to know exactly where your spin's at. And I think those things are creative for that. But one, I don't think they're PDGA legal, so you can't put them on your discs and go play around. Well,
Mm-hmm.
tournament round, sanctioned round. But I think it is a good training tool because that's where like I think a lot of our technology has been advancing to, even like weightlifting, right? They have like the little like heart monitors and they're getting away from like, oh, do 80%. It's like, no, maintain your heart rate within, you know, 80 to 90% of whatever. And I think that's really cool, but I don't know. I just don't think like we're there quite yet with disc golf. I think a lot of beginners are going to buy that and try to like figure out those numbers for themselves. I think it's an advanced tool to better hone your game. But if you're an advanced player, usually you've already kind of figured out some of the things that that's trying to tell you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, how do I slow my arm speed down? How do I speed it up? What should I be throwing? You figure that out already. But a beginner with that, I don't think is going to improve as drastically as maybe, $130 should improve you. $180 should improve you.
Yeah, and also like being what I'm assuming is a newer product, it's like how accurate is it? How well does it work? Like,
Well,
is
it's
it
like
giving you false information that's actually counterproductive to your game?
when it becomes like the rangefinder conversation, right? Like I think rangefinders are great. I use it from time to time, but the best thing that happened to me was I lost my rangefinder and I started getting my distance back and I can gauge that with my eyes better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a rangefinder again. And then I never used my rangefinder unless I was unsure, right? Like, oh, is it 330 or is it 360? Click. Okay, cool. That's this disc. But I wasn't using it. Like, and I see a lot of beginners that are like, click, 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 click,
Mm-hmm.
click, click. Huh. All right. Click. Oh, I'm short. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I find myself like I carry one in my bag, but like really the only time that I will use it is if like hole 18 at Dexter, like that is like it's a wide open shot, but like a big distance. Like when you throw your first shot, gauging how far you are in the middle of a field to a basket sometimes be very very deceiving.
yeah. Oh,
And
I
yeah,
agree with you. And like golf courses, like without a distance finder, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because you need to know if it's like 330 and 380 look the same.
mm-hmm.
Like you need to be able to gauge some of that stuff for yourself. I'm not saying they're bad tools. I'm saying don't put yourself in a deficit and completely cripple yourself by leaning on these tools. There are tools exist to help you, right? Like the thing that you pulled up. I think that'd be cool to utilize in a warm up. You bring your net with you, you bring that disc, and you just slowly watch your speed and your rotations go up. And you're like, okay, cool. When I reach this point, 69 miles per hour, 300 rotations per disc, I know my arm is warmed up and I don't need to spend more time on that. You can just kind of work it, right? A lot of times, what we do in warm ups, we'll just throw, we'll stretch, we'll throw, we'll putt, we'll stretch, we'll throw, we'll putt, but then you step on a hole 1 tee and you're really not sure if you're as warm, as loose as you can. So I can see it being a good warm up tool for that, getting a gauge of where you're at. The never lose a disc thing, like I don't think anybody's taking that out and throwing it on the course and being like, boop boop, like where are
Yeah.
you? Boop boop. It's just, I mean, I know everybody's talked about that. I feel like everybody's had that when they first started playing. Like, oh, it would be a multi-$100 idea? GPS trackers in your disc so you never lose them. And people are
But
exploring that.
the majority of the time when I'm losing a disc, it's because of water. Like that's usually what eats my discs up.
Oh, my disc is getting up. I lost 2 discs yesterday.
Well, you
Like,
are
and
also you're in Portland though, where like those courses are like designed to eat your discs.
yeah,
Like what was that? Blue River? No, Blue Lake.
Blue Lake.
Blue,
Yeah,
Blue fuck that course, man.
I didn't lose any discs there this last time I played there, but I lost 2 at Dabney, which is embarrassing. So if you're watching this live, give me hell next time you see me for losing 2 discs at Dabney.
Is Dabney a course where you shouldn't lose a disc?
No, it eats your discs. It's overgrown.
Oh,
I just feel like I shouldn't have lost my discs. because it's also one of those courses like you can shoot 8 to 10 down on, and when it's that kind of scoreable, you really shouldn't be off the fairway too much.
Yeah,
But
something kind real quick. Something kind of embarrassing though. Uh, for the listeners, there's a course in my town called Westmoreland. It's 9 hole, pretty much a little short course that's in the middle of a field, and no bushes. There's some trees to go around, but no bushes, no like high grass really. I lost a disc there. I have no idea where it went. It was very
no,
embarrassing.
and that's where we always get though. Like there's just some courses you don't ever want to leave them. I mean, I forget discs all the time. That I don't feel bad about. 'Cause it's just like, oh yeah, I threw 20 and I picked up 19. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm probably like the worst person when it comes to losing discs. I spend like 2 minutes looking. And it's like it should be here. It's not here. Let's keep pushing on, guys. Um, I got enough. I mean, you can see behind me. Like it's gonna be a long time until I lose all of these fucking things.
Right, right. I mean, it does make you. I mean, I feel like collectors and people who just have a hard time not buying discs give up on looking for discs faster because they know that at home or in their car, there's one that will replace it. There's a couple discs though that I will spend hours if I
Oh,
ever
and I think
misplace
that's
it.
always it, right? Like, I think my green and purple wraith, I'll spend an hour looking for that. It's super beaten. I've been in my bag since February. It's my distance driver. It's super flippy right now. Um, you can't replace that with just another wraith. You have to like
Yeah.
season them. And there's always those discs. I think there's a like threshold though. Like for me, it's like if it's over $40, I'll spend a little bit more time looking. If it's under $40, I won't. Um, if it's new to my bag, sometimes actually like losing them because you're like, well, I narrowed my bag down a slot. Um, but if it's been in my bag for a long time, I'll spend more time looking for them. Also, like color glow FD3s, for example, are a good. Like sometimes I won't spend as much time looking for them because I have 10 on my shelf, and they're all relatively the same stability, all relatively the same. Like I lost one for a year and a half. It made its way back to me, and it flies exactly like I remember. So it's like, I, I mean, I don't spend too much time looking for those, even though I should because they're getting back to being expensive again.
Oh, really? The color glow ones?
Yeah.
I mean, everything is like cheap compared to what it was in like 2020.
Oh, everything's cheap. That's why, like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, but it's also finding people to sell because the market's crashed. People aren't selling anymore. Like, because it's just like what's the point? Like they're rewarded for waiting right now. They're not rewarded for selling now.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly like if you're a collector who your game is to collect discs, sell discs at high points, it's a smart move. Very smart move. Hold on to
I
those
think
collectors. It goes like this. It's eventually going to go back up. Just a matter of time.
we don't know though, especially like I mean, I think it's terrible way to advertise your disc. But did you read the blurb of the new Glow FD3s?
Uh-uh.
So
The
the
new
new
glow,
blurb, yeah. So,
like
as
for
the Glow FD3s of the past have been quite popular among our team players, we decided to give this classic beefcake a fresh new go under our own protection. Our production. Our aim was to create a very close match to the classic 2018 Glow Sea Line run of the FD3, and we're pleased to say we succeeded pretty well in that task. These look, feel, and fly, if not exactly like the 2018 Glow FD3s, at least pretty darn close to. The only thing we failed miserably to recreate was the glow effect. These discs pack a lot more glow than the 2018 FD3s. So while different, we're going to count that as a win also. So that's their little blurb on it, which I think is terrible way to promote your new discs. You like acknowledge like, oh, everybody, this is your favorite money run. Come buy this, which is like going to be hype. And when it doesn't fly the same way, you're going to abuse that trust in your community, and then stock's going to go back up with the old Innova stuff. Like I don't know. I think it's a bad luck look,
yeah, like
and the
instead
little
of
like
saying it's just like this one, to say this is a good run of it. You should try it out. We find it to be a very good run, but like saying that
Yeah,
it's exactly like an old disc, it definitely for the old like Innova molded heads, like they're gonna throw it and they're gonna find there's gonna be people who find something different about it and be pissed about it. Like
exactly.
everyone lately has been trying to find things to be upset about online, and this just opens up
Well, and everybody's
ammo.
regretting the purchases they're buying too because they're buying into the
Yeah,
hype, and then when it doesn't do these things, they're like, "Well, I bought 6 because you said," and when it's not that way, then they're going to try to resell them and flip them, and it just becomes
yeah,
ugly. Um, yeah, and so like I don't know, because I remember the hype last year was like the Metal Flakes being close to Doombird 2s and everybody talking about that, but that was like the community was talking about. That was the collectors, that was the sellers, that was the throwers that were talking about this disc in comparison. That wasn't the company saying, "Hey, look, you know, um, I had a big spiel of like the P3Xs, so I'm a big P3X thrower." And they just Innova came out with the P3X, came out and just said that this is the old P3X mold, and I did like my little tangent of being like, okay, guys, realize when you look at some of these old molds, we fell in love with specific runs of discs, not the entire mold. So P3X being a very important one because it ebbs and flows. And these are for people that are buying into uh like new to the game and buying into P3Xs. There are a few runs that are goaded, and there was a lot of runs that were complete whiffs. That's disc golf. That's buyers and
yeah.
collectors market. There's a reason we have different runs. And so this run that came out that Innova just did was a little bit of a whiff, and people were upset because they didn't fly like P3Xs that they knew. But it's like plastics changed. Their mold has been dusted off, so they haven't been pushing this mold out for 2 years. Blah 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 blah. Like I didn't buy any, and I'm glad I didn't buy any because you wait for the good runs and then buy those up, and just being patient with it. But yeah, and I think people forget that when they're just jamming discs down your throat. It's like, well, you're hoping to find a good run. Petamudi Luna is a great run of Luna, and it's back in Paul Macbeth's bag for this tournament. He's not
Oh,
throwing some of these other ones, like soft rubber Luna run.
suffer. Yeah, I mean, and also there's every mold, every run that comes out, they're gonna be a little bit different because like humidity in the factory when they're being molded. There's so many factors that can change the flight of a disc.
I
So
mean,
to
these are
try to
good
make
examples, right? This is an FD3 swirly. This is FD3 swirly. Both Innova made. One is a little bit domier. One is bored flat. One is more overstable. One is a little bit straighter. There's a lot of variance in them.
yeah, but those Doombird twos though, those are solid.
They're all right.
Well, I mean, that's the other
They're
thing. It's
they're
like
all right.
that, but that right there, it's like somebody could be like, "Oh man, that disc is perfect for my game,"
Yeah.
and someone else could be like, "This is garbage for their game." Like
I
it's how
bag
you
four
throw. There's
FD3s in my bag, and I do not bag a Doombird 2. That does not
oh really?
mean they're good or bad. That just means they're not for my bag. They're not for my game.
I love
What's
them for
up,
like
Jerry Ann?
their Heiser shots. Jerry Ann says hi, Paige and John. I missed you too, Jerry Ann. I've been hiding in the woods.
But yeah, that's my little tangent.
Yeah.
We have 2 weeks to catch up on. A lot's happened. The P3X is the biggest thing that's happened in my world in regards to disappointments. Everything else, I'm not disappointed in. No, I'm kidding.
I was a little disappointed in the results at the PCS. Is that what it is?
Yeah, PCS.
Yeah.
Proctor!
I know. I
I'm even
know.
wearing my, like, oh, where is it? One sec, guys.
Oh my goodness. What is it? Oh.
My
What
vanilla
is it?
gorilla shirt.
Oh,
I'm rooting him on. He's my sleeper pick for winning a major with these next 3 upcoming.
yeah.
But he's had an amazing season. So close to taking one down at PCS. But McBeast mode got activated, and
Yeah.
who is he? Because it was still like just a 2-pony race at PCS. It was
Mm-hmm.
him and Macbeth, and nobody was chasing him down. Also, can I
Yeah.
say how how disappointed I was that the PCS trophy they're trying to just pass from Barsby to Macbeth, and the next year's gonna get it. Like I just thought that was a cool ass trophy that Barsby should have been able to keep, and they should have been able to remanufacture one or do something different. Last year was a mace. This year we'll do a sword, or this year we'll do a shield. Like I, the bear's cool at preserve, but the fact that you have to return it every year is kind of more of an annoyance. Like, not only did Barsby have to figure out how to bring it back to America, he had to figure out how to send it back over there. Um, that becomes just tedious and difficult with the traveling circus.
What was the women's trophy at PCS?
I don't know.
I want to know. Let's see. PCS PDGA. Let's figure this out together, people.
But I
All
will
of the
say,
way.
like, trophies have been a big divide right now. Not divide. There's not a division. It's just more of like we're seeing some really cool trophies come out and a lot of really bad trophies. And when you're taking down these big tournaments, like leaving with, you know, paperweight, it's kind of disappointing. I know more famously, like the Simon Lizotte gyro disc was disappointed because he gave it away to somebody. um, so as more money comes in and you're seeing bigger paydays, should that money be allocated towards a better trophy, or should we eliminate trophies? Because like I think the argument like that I've heard the most is like we would rather have a dinker trophy and more money in the pool than a really cool trophy and a little bit less money. But I feel like there has to be a fine line, right? The difference of 7,500 and 7,400, but a badass trophy could be something different and be worth it. I don't know. I just feel like the trophies have been extremely disappointed.
Yeah, but I agree. I love that there are some unique ones. I wish they were all unique. I wish in disc golf that's just like a thing that happened. Is that every tournament there was something just different, not just a stereotypical trophy.
Like the
Like a
guitar was badass.
and the freaking the axe was sick.
The
But I
X
wish
was
like
sick until it wasn't.
yeah, I mean the fact that it's not made different for a different person every year that's kind of a bummer.
But
But
so I pulled up Kristen Tatar. It was a sword and shield.
Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I mean that kind of makes sense, right? FPO, Shield Maidens, like
yeah,
Valkyries, like that's the whole Viking thing.
here,
Her
yeah.
Instagram has it.
Oh, her Instagram does. Okay, yeah, like
Sponsors should be paying for trophies. I agree. Like, right? Don't take the money from the pool. Have these people step up. And you want to sponsor a big pro tournament? You want to be a big boy? Well, buy a big boy trophy.
do you mean like the sponsor, like the main sponsor of the tournament, like how like
Yeah, like
Discmania is?
Innova, Discmania doing the
Yeah,
European Open.
yeah.
I like that.
I want the. I just want some cool looking trophies.
I
You
mean,
got your tournament coming up, and I like the
I
trophies
do
you've
have my
made.
tournament coming up.
I like the design of the logo for them. That's good.
No, that's Tai. Tai was a guest in Jammers in the Rough. He designed the logo for the trophies. This is a great thing about the tournament I'm doing. Everybody that's kind of been part of my life is being a part of this tournament in one way or another. Not everybody, obviously, because we can't have a billion people here, but people that had something to offer specifically for this tournament. So Grammy's Trophies was actually founded on Jammers in the Rough, and they're doing our trophies. David Moore, White Rhino, is somebody that I got to know really well, and he's doing some of the minis. I'm working with Thought Space Athletic, which, Jammers in the Rough, um, to do some of our player packs, like All Day Disc Golf. A local brick and mortar is helping me out with some of the script and everything, as well as putting on the tournament because I haven't done one before. So I'm trying to make it all inclusive of people that I've come to get to know over the years. And so
Oh
also,
yeah.
I did a bounty in the lounge, and anyone that's able to listen to Jammers in the Rough and hear this, I'll put the same bounty. If you're willing to travel to this tournament, um, it's a B tier. We have 750 added. We have 5 divisions. It's 1 day tournament, but if you can take down the tournament and you're not local, I will pay for your airfare here. We'll reimburse you, obviously. Um, so if you can win MP40, MPO, FA1, MA1, FPO, and you traveled more, we'll say more than you had to fly, right? Like I'm not going to pay for gas money, like $20 to get up here. You had to fly, or you had to have driven, let's say, over 6 hours to get here. I'll reimburse your cost of travel. So that's my bounty. I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out what a local bounty is. So if you're local and you take down a tournament, I want to still have a bounty for you because I don't think that's fair. I'm trying to figure that out. So if you guys have any ideas, I don't think I know quite yet. So we'll figure out that bounty
well, that's a
later.
cool
But
little perk. That's a
I
cool
thought
perk from
so.
coming out of town. Yeah, that's super awesome. You hear that, Jerry Ann? Looks like you're going to be flying in. Free
They,
airfare.
they got to win.
Oh, she's got this.
But yeah, I just figure like some things like that. Like my goal is to do one tournament a year and make it as big as I can with some fun things like that. This is my first kind of foray into it. I'm a little dance with tournament directing, so this year might not be as big, but definitely next year we're gonna go a little bit bigger and just kind of keep building it until eventually I get my own A tier. And my fucking team that named it Jam and Jellies gets an A tier. Oh, sometimes I hate democracy sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you open it up, and that's what won. You know.
It's always what's one like what was that? I always think about community where they put an anus on their school flag because of like the voting process. Uh, anyways, that's my tournament coming up. I'm excited for it, to be honest. I'm of course a little bit late planning it all because life gets in the way. I have like 3 jobs. I'm a like disc golfer, avid disc golfer. So my time frame is like, oh yeah, it's only June. It's fucking end of July already. I don't understand where time goes. Um, that's
and a
that's my
and a dad
oh
and a
yeah. There's
partner.
there's there's a dad thing in life, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean they take me for granted is what they do. So I don't take them for granted. They take me for granted. But
Oh. See what we
yeah,
got
so
here. Now
next
we
year's
got
gonna be big.
next year's more time to plan it. Has a lot of time to be big. Jerry Ann will be there. I just saw it right
We'll
there.
see. We'll see. I'm
It's
gonna
it's
I'm gonna
it's,
book
it's
it
in
on like
it's in writing.
Saskatchewan territory like state champs or whatever. What is it? Territorial champs.
Territory.
So I don't know what they don't have states up there. It's like territories.
No, I think you're right. Providence is no. I think Providence is the
Provinces.
no. I think Providence is the bigger portions, and territories are the smaller portions of the
Yeah.
provinces.
I don't know. They just
Uh,
disconnected once we started talking Canadian.
no, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I could be completely off basis though.
It's Canada. I mean, they have loonies and toonies and territories and providences. I
But it's
mean,
also Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. I'll never
what?
forget.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. One. Saskatchewan.
Why is it one?
No, Saskatchewan. It's how you pronounce it.
How do you know that's how it's pronounced? Are
Because
you from there?
because Jerry told me.
I mean, Jerry
Jerry
just makes
told
up
all.
shit half the time. I can't trust him.
it's like it's like the joke on us. Like, yeah,
They've
we're just
been
gonna
they've
get to
been
say one at the end.
colonized. They've been colonized. We can't trust them. They're assimilated.
Okay, okay. So what do we have now? The European Open. That's
European
happening right
Open.
now. Man, I wish it wasn't so early in the morning when it comes on live.
Oh man, you got to wake up and watch it. I mean, just hit play because you have the next 4 hours when you wake up to watch it without having to watch it live, and you still get the live experience.
Yeah, but that's not how I like to watch it from the beginning, and so I have
So
to
I'm
wait
watching
for
it
it.
from beginning. I waited
Well,
till it was done at 10 o'clock. I started watching it,
was it 10
and I
a.m. It
finished.
finished?
I don't know, like 10:30, 10 a.m. I don't know.
Okay, that's not bad. Are they putting the live like replay live up pretty quickly?
I mean, it was up when I clicked on it. I don't
Heck
know.
yeah.
It's one tournament.
Hey, no, Paige. You're supposed to know all the answers.
It
It's like
worked
your
for
job.
me. It was early enough for me to watch it, and I gotta chill. I took my daughter to Playdate PDX, and I had it propped up while she was playing.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, but also there was a chat came in. I love my trophies so far. Every image I've seen of the trophies and anything competitive, uh, was has looked awesome. I've been absolutely flabbergasted by it, and I think it stems not only with the artists who I've chosen to do the work, as in the trophy, so Grammys and White Rhino, but also Tai. Here's another shout out to the kid. He also just took down North NUI, his first A tier as an MA1 player. Um, so congrats to the kid. He's going to go on some big media tour now. Like he wins an A tier, and all of a sudden he's like, I gotta plan some media tours so people can get to know me.
That's
Um,
smart though. That's smart.
yeah, it's
That, that
smart,
that's
but
that's one thing that boy is good at is promoting himself,
that is one
and
thing he's good at.
and that's half the game. That's half the game.
Nah, that's not even half the game. That's like if you're trying to be a full time disc golfer, that's the game, and
Yeah, I guess you
then
can.
the
You
rest
gotta
of
be
it
good at
is.
disc golf.
I
It's
don't
a
think so.
50-50.
I think you can
Bullshit.
find a way. No, I mean obviously, like yes, you have to be good at disc golf, but like look at it. Let's say name a 20 to 40 level pro.
20 to 40.
Yeah,
Simon Lazat.
he's top 20.
So you said name 20 to 40.
Yeah, 20 to 40. He's top 20. He's
Oh,
literally number
oh,
5.
I thought okay. I thought you meant age. I thought you meant age. Okay, who's between 20 and 40? Top 20 to 40. Let's see. Proctor's up there, so he wouldn't count. Um, Barsby? What's he at?
All right, Greg Barsby will do. You're just dragging this out way too long.
No, you
So
just
guess how
answer it
much?
for yourself.
So Greg Barsby is a great disc golfer. We all know
Hmm.
it. He's a 2018 world champ. He's had breakout tournaments a year, been on lead card. How much money do you think he's made this year?
42,000.
As a player, he's made $9,052. So when I say the game is everything else, disc golf is just a part of it. Disc golf is his beer money. It's his like gas money. It's his get him to the next show. It's get a highlight throw in so people will then buy his game. But if he doesn't have the platform, doesn't have that following, doesn't have any of these other things, people aren't going to buy those discs. So the game for a new up and coming person is what I'm saying, which is like Tai, get your name out there because people aren't going to be buying it because you're a 950 rated player. They're going to be buying it because Tai is asking them to, because they support him, because blah, 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 blah. That's the game. I'm just saying, Greg Barsby, he's number 45, so he was out of that range on the tour rank, but $9,000. I pulled up Simon
But
Lazat.
then
He's
you
at
got sponsorship money. Then you
oh,
got
that's
this
different.
selling money.
Yeah, that becomes, but that's still like sell the discs. And how are you going to sell the discs? That's where Eric Oakley reinvented himself. Is this good? Push that out there. He's selling more discs. On top of like, his play really doesn't matter to his sponsors because he's selling discs other ways. He's had like maybe 2
Mm.
tournaments that he broke out this year. He hasn't found himself on lead card coverage. I'm not saying they're not competitive. I'm not saying that's not an important part of it. That's just not the game anymore. Not if you're trying to exist on this tour.
That makes sense.
That's me. That's my take on it all.
Wow.
I
So
know.
philosophical.
So cynical, so jaded, so over disc
Page.
golf.
So Page.
I'm just ready to retire, get a 6-pack, and go to Rockwood and just ace run every hole. That's where I'm at in my life because I'm done. I'm tired.
Today you're tired. Tomorrow you'll be on that course.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'm hitting a brick wall, and I'm tired of hitting brick walls with my head because the only way I know how to go through them is just to hit my head against that wall until it breaks. And
Yeah.
I'm old man, and my neck hurts, and I can't keep doing that. But I'm not smart enough to walk around.
Yeah. See, now you're just getting deep with it. I like it.
Oh, I'm just deep with my struggles. I know them all
Yeah.
too well.
No, for
But
sure.
cleaned out my gym. I'm gonna start working out again next week. Start trying to get back into better shape. Because if NUI taught me anything, though I'm in better shape than I was last year, I am still not in good enough shape. And fuck, does it exhaust myself carrying around my heavy ass. So I'm not trying to lose too much weight, but trying to get a little bit more acclimated to what I can and can't do and be a little bit healthier.
Yeah. Are you thinking about doing strongman again?
Hell no. Fuck that.
No.
I'm talking
You
about
did
getting
good.
healthier. No, I did good. I'm just saying I
Yeah.
can't compete in strongman. I'm just saying like I'm just going to do like strongman lifts. I'm going to incorporate things that I absolutely loved in strongman. But to compete in strongman again, I'm trying to lose weight, right? Like that's the reason I quit doing strongman is because disc golf was taking all of my attention. Um, but to be a successful disc golfer, I need to drop probably 50 pounds. Whereas with strongman, I actually probably have to put 50 pounds on. And right now, with where I'm at, putting on another 50 pounds isn't something I want to do. So I'm still going to do the lifts. I'm still going to work out. I'm still going to, like, I love Atlas stones. I'm still going to keep doing these things, but not with the intention of competing.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
taking up a lot of your time when you were like diving into both, trying to do disc golf and strongman.
Yeah, because I was coaching strongman, I was working out for strongman, I was training for disc golf, I was disc golfing, and then all of a sudden, like I was just stretched too thin, and I was like half in on this one, half in on that one. Well, fuck you too, Josh. Where'd you go? All right, guys. Jammers in the rough. We are out. What's going on?
Who knows what happened? But it was definitely about you, and you probably caused it, or Cody.
I'm just
Just
talking
all,
about the.
yeah.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
I think it was just a sign letting us know we're at the top of the hour.
We are at the top of the hour. So that moves us to closing thoughts. So, Josh. Oh, this way.
So, thank you, Paige. Um, see, closing thoughts. I don't know, man. It's like it's been a crazy 2 weeks. I'm happy to get back on the show. I'm officially a great uncle. Um, I had my great nephew born in the yesterday, day before. It's all blurred together. So I'm super stoked about that. Have another person in the family that we can make play disc golf, allow to play disc golf, encourage, show them. um, I had an awesome break. It was nice to step away. I was telling Paige I have not played disc golf all of July, and because I've been doing Oregon Country Fair stuff, and then come back to a baby being born. Uh, I got plans to play with a new person who I met on Facebook, meet me down in my neck of the woods to play around on Saturday. So I'm excited to see how I do after a little bit of break. Usually it goes well. Breaks are good for you. You should always take breaks from time to time. Give your brain and arm and body a rest. Yeah.
All right. Wise words from the bearded man from Borneo. So,
Borneo.
with
Rolo.
that, my closing thoughts are I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm beat. I'm tired and exhausted and beat. Just leave me alone, guys. No, I don't know. I'm hitting this brick wall again, and I don't have as much highs to get me through it. So all the support always helps me out a lot. But also, like I said, it's tough. Tough out there doing the grind. I'm looking forward to my tournament. I have one tournament, or I'm looking forward to the tournament I'm putting on. I have one tournament left on the books. I'll probably take some time just to rest and recharge my batteries, and focus on some other things. But obviously, disc golf is still a priority to me. It's just I got to reevaluate a few things in my life. So if I'm distant, disconnected, don't take it personal. Just realize that's probably where I'm at right now. With that, we want to thank a sponsor. Speaking of somebody who stepped away from a while, we're going to go to Dark Ace Discs. George, my man, got his Facebook hacked, but he's back, and it's good to see him again. Definitely missed the kid. And Darkest Army is doing great things. Hannah Hugh had their breakthrough tournament a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
Are you gonna pull up their sponsor, or did we not go over
Well,
this enough?
we didn't go over this enough, but we can talk
Uh
about them.
no, Darkest Army. Check him out. Amazing swag. We talked about Barsby. They're a Barsby sponsor. They're doing good things. Music and disc golf go hand in hand, and they're out there ushering it in to a new age. Dark Ace Army. Check them out. With that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Jammers in the Rough on CH Sports. We'll see you next week.
This is corny.